Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, dear. Uh, yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon. So anyway, as promised, I'm putting the notes. Of course, you have the material along with you, but in spite of that, for the questions, model questions that are given at the end of each unit, I am trying to give you the notes along with the PPTs. I'll be sending the PPTs also. Up to 7th unit, I wrote the presentation. All the presentations I will be sending you, but in the notes, in the presentations and all, you have more information. Of course, not that much of information is required for you to write the exam. So I will consolidate it and then give you in a day or two. I'm trying to write everything so that you can prepare as the examination point of view. Okay, so that is my promise. I'll work on that. I'm working already. I can send it at the earliest. Right? So let me start. Yes.
Ma'am, so many students we have just still not received any course material, and even we don't know about this subject also. So we are
yeah. So course material I have, as well as the presentations what I'm preparing to teach you people. All that material also I'll be sending tonight. Presentations and all. Along with that, in a day or two, I'm promising I will, maybe by Tuesday or Wednesday, you will receive all the notes. I mean, what is the necessary points you should learn for the examination point of view. That also I'm trying to give you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anything more you want to ask me?
Yeah, how can you share me all those presentations?
I will be sending to Ambedkar University people only. Through them, you will receive. So maybe they have some link or connection, because I don't know how to approach you people. So as you got the information for the Google, for this Zoom link and the connections part of it, you can receive from them only. I'll be sending to them. That would be easy. Actually, you can receive, you can go there and ask them also.
Yes, ma'am, but we are unable to reach them. That's the main point.
Okay. Your name is Kanta Nani. Okay.
Yes,
you can just give me a small message about you, or you people have prepared the WhatsApp link that day I have seen, but I couldn't copy that WhatsApp link. I'll check on that. I'll log into the WhatsApp link after the class.
So
and I will post in the WhatsApp link. Is that okay? I think all of you are there on the WhatsApp.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. So I don't know about the dates, but next month, next week we will be completing the portion, and after that you will be having the practicals. This is what I had the information from the university people. So there you will be having the practicals, and you have to write the assignments and records there only. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Anything more? Anyone?
No.
Yeah. So we have completed the first 4 units, in which we have the operating systems. We have other concepts where we have learned everything about the computer, basics of computer and all. Today, let us see what is there in the 5th unit. I hope all of you can see the screen. Can you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So
Okay,
unit 5 is nothing but completely, see, our systems work based on the memory. What is the memory part of it? First 4 units, we have learned about the concepts of what is the components of computers, or what are the computers in general. We have learned the human computer and the interface of it. And then we have learned the use of computers in education and research. Several concepts I have taught you, Google Scholar, to several things I have taught you. Then I have taught you about the input and output technologies. These are the things we learned about the keyboard or ROM or what do you call, desktop, etc., etc. So many things we learned. Today we will learn about the memory. But what is memory, first of all? Memory is nothing but whatever information we are giving, that information should be stored in some place in the system, right? So here there are 2 types of memory. One type of memory, even for us also, we'll have short-term memory. Quickly, now at present, whatever we are learning, that we can remember. And there is a long-term memory. Some experiences we cannot forget at all. And then we keep it in the long-term memory as a secondary storage. So here in the computer also, there are, it's almost, computer is nothing but the like a human brain, it works like. So in the computer memory, there are two types of memories. One memory, we can see what is the introduction, let us see. It has two types of memory, primary memory and secondary memory. In the primary memory, it is immediately whatever information you are giving, this information is processed and then gives you the output of that. And then here, the central processing unit CPU is whatever information you are giving to central processing unit, it will not store permanently there unless you say it has to be stored somewhere. So it just quickly takes the data, process the data, and then gives you the needed output. So that is the
Yes, ma'am. Please mute others, ma'am. They are disturbing in between class.
yes, ma'am.
Just
I
mute
will
them
do
all,
it.
ma'am.
1 second, let me. Yeah, I
Okay,
understand
ma'am.
on that. Yes,
Okay,
I'm
thank
doing
you,
it.
ma'am.
1 second. I have muted all. Unmute.
No, ma'am.
Yeah, now it is right. Can you hear me now? Put the just this thing. Hands up. Nani, can you hear me? My voice also not coming? Can you just show me the thumbs up? Is my voice clear? Perfect. Perfect. Thank you. That's lovely. So in this volatile memory, this memory, whatever we are seeing, is not permanent memory. It is intermittent, very little, very short-term memory it is. So in this short-term memory, in this short-term memory will last for very few seconds or few this thing. So here the memory where it is primary or secondary, it is measured in the megabytes or gigabytes or terabytes. My this thing is not there. WhatsApp, yeah. Can you hear me, Nani? Perfect. So in this, we have two types of memory. Primary memory is always of two types. One is called the RAM and the other one is called the ROM. RAM is random access memory. This random access memory is a short-term memory. In the short-term memory, we will have again two types, that is SRM, static RAM, and dynamic RAM. Static RAM means which is static for a limited period and very limited this thing. Whereas dynamic RAM is always a dynamic one and it works for a different, the RAM is constantly upgrading itself. Whereas ROM, random only memory, here PROM, EPROM and EEPROM. These are the things that are there in the ROM. Now let's say what is there in the RAM. In the RAM, this is the memory access part of it. Here we have a chip selection lines and the 8-bit data bus. So here you from now onwards you are going to get there some little bit of technical terms. Pay attention to that. So this is 9-bit red address bus and 9-bit data bus. So these are the two things that are going to define your RAM. As you are getting the input, this input stores the information, whatever you are giving to the computer. I'm talking or I'm writing, I'm reading, whatever you are asking the computer to do, that information it will take and then it is stored and process the data through CPU and give you the output. Now, when we look into the random access memory, it is a part of computer's main memory. Remember that it will be, as long as you are using the system, till your power is there in the system, all that data will be there in the system. It will not go away. But once the power goes off, the data, whatever is, if you are not saving it, it will be lost, right? So in random access memory, it is the main part of the memory. But here you should remember that it is volatile. Volatile means it is not static. It will not remain permanently. It will change when the power goes off. When there is no power, all the data, whatever you are giving, it will just get vanished. A RAM chip, in our computers, there is a RAM chip, which what does this RAM chip does? It contains the transistors. Pay attention here. It contains the transistors. In these transistors take the information and implement the random access memory in hardware. What information you are giving, it takes that information and put it into the hardware there. It is the most basic integral part of the memory. So, and in this, the actual chip that is soldered into the small circuit boards in order to create RAM cards are sticks, we call them. Whatever is inside the system, we call them as RAM cards or RAM sticks. These are soldered into your motherboard, etc., near to the motherboard. So we have two more types in the RAM, as I told you. One is the static RAM and the second one is the dynamic RAM. What is static RAM? Probably you might have seen this kind of device. If you open the computer system, you can see this kind of device inside our near the motherboard. So static RAM memories consist of circuits capable of retaining the stored bits as long as the power is applied. And as long as your system has power, battery backup, till then only you will have the memory. Once it is gone, then your data is lost. This is what we call it as cache memory. Okay. Then we have static RAM. And there is a cell, static RAM memory cell. This type of memories are called volatile memory. Why volatile memory? Because they don't remain permanently, they change. So this is why we call it as volatile memory. So there are two transistors in the system. These two transistors, T1 and T2, are used to connect these 2-bit lines so that the information flows and then it is stored. The purpose of these transistors is to act as switches that can be opened or closed under the control of the word line. So whenever there is a circuit, whenever there is a power, then this switches will be opened or closed accordingly, and then it is controlled by the address decoder. We have the types of static RAM: 4T cell, 6T cell, and TFT cell. Just learn the names, not in depth of it. We don't need more in depth of how to write N-type metallic oxide semiconductor transistors. All these names are not necessary to by heart them and get confused out of it. So just remember there is types of RAM based on what? Based on cost, speed, size of the system. But based on cost, speed, and size of the system, these different types of memories can be used, static RAMs. What are they? 4T, 6T, and TFT cell. TFT cell means thin film transmitter. So these are 3 main important types of static memory, right? Then we have dynamic RAM. Dynamic RAM, it stores the binary information in the form of electric charges that are applied to capacitors. These two small things, white things are there, no? They're called capacitors. So the information is stored in the capacitors. And as long as the information is, the capacitors has the power in them or a charge, till then the memory will be lost inside the system. Once the charging is done, you need to recharge them periodically so that they retain the information. So that is called dynamic RAM. And inside the system, actually dynamic RAM looks like this. What inside? You might have seen once you open your laptop or once you open the desktop, this kind of big chip will be there, which we call it as the dynamic RAM. And in the dynamic RAM, there is reading option and writing option. Reading option, a voltage is applied on the bit bit line and a signal applied to the address line to close to the transistors. So there is one small signal applied here to the transistors, very close to the transistors, bit line. So that part has a tendency to write the information. And reading option, the information find a bit stored using the address line to read the data or bit. So that is part of the reading option. Then we have types of dynamic RAM. There are two types of dynamic RAM again, asynchronous, synchronous. Asynchronous means what? Asynchronous means it does not have what do you call one type, only the stable type of thing. It keeps changing. So asynchronous we call, maybe the size is different, maybe the capacity is different, maybe the volume is different. So all those things are different in the asynchronous dynamic RAM. So in that again we have parts, asynchronous RAM. That's where, because when I was preparing the notes, I felt reading them as different bits, it doesn't make you become perfect to write the answer. That won't help you. So I thought I will put it one line for each answer and then give you, it will be easy to learn. So RAS access only refresh, that means ROR we call. This is the asynchronous dynamic RAM type and is refreshed only refreshed by opening each row in turn, right? Whenever you want to work on the system, each row one after the other, it will open. Not all of a sudden once for all the page will be open. One after the other, the things will be open. That is where the dynamic things will work. Then CAS before RAS. That means we have content address storage. RAS is nothing but remote access service. RAS is what? Remote access service. I'll write here RAS. Remote access service. So because of this remote access service, what it does, it opens one after the other, each row in turn, so that it is spread overall and then refresh on the, it will get refreshed on over the interval. Whereas CAS means content address storage. Content address storage. So here it will to reduce the level of external circuiting, the counter required for the refresh was incorporated into the main chip, and we call it as the CAS before RAM. Then asynchronous RAM or dynamic RAM we can call. Then here you can see row address latch, row decoder, whatever row information. This is RAS. We got remote access service that is coming into the system, and then your row address latch is processing it. Then it goes to the decoder, cell array in the memory. This is the memory where that particular cell is stored, where that particular element is stored, in which row, which byte, how much, where it is stored, column wise, cell wise, everything it will be stored. We have then FPM. FPM means fast page mode. That is one type of RAM, one more. We are learning at least 4 to 5 types of dynamic RAM. One is the RAS, only refresh, CAS after RAS, FPM, fast page mode. In the fast page mode, this was designed to be faster than conventional type of normal dynamic RAM. This FPM is more faster, and it works at the speed of 66 megahertz. Then EDO DRAM. Here, this is an extended data output DRAM, and this provides more than 66 megahertz. It will provide, and then your speed of the, see what is in the computer. No, the speed of the system should be fast. If the system is slow, we say, "Mera system बहुत slow हो गया." System slow होना मतलब में what? Your dynamic RAM is getting slow. That's why your processing part is taking more time. Clear? So slowly, if the system is getting slow, then we need to understand that which part of my dynamic RAM is not working properly. We should check that and enhance the memory part, and then we can start working it in a better way. Then BEDO, that is the burst EDO. EDO means extended data out. A burst EDO DRAM. This type of DRAM that gave the improved performance, straight EDO dynamic RAM. The advantage of this is, pay attention. The advantage of this type is that it could process 4 memory addresses in one burst. In one part only it will process. I'll make it a little bigger. You can see. What happened here? Just a second. Can you, did you understand? This part, it can, yeah. So burst EDO was a type of dynamic RAM that gave improved performance of the straight EDO RAM. The advantage is it can process 4 memory addresses where the data is. Suppose the data is in a particular cell. So it can quickly go there, get the data, and then start doing the process. So that way, 4 addresses it can check at once. Whereas in the previous ones, it is only one after the other, it will check. Then we have a synchronous dynamic RAM. In the synchronous dynamic RAM, directly synchronized with the CPU part only. That is called the CPU clock, we call. For this, the memory chips remain ready for certain operation, and the CPU, here all the data it gets, and then auto refresh. Quickly, any moment, whatever you are doing, it will quickly auto refresh and then start saving the data as much as that is coming into the system. Then types of synchronous dynamic RAM, double data rate, that is DDR we call, double data rate, DR2, DDR2, then DDR3 and DDR4. 4 types are there. Here everything is one after the other is enhancing the processing speed. Your dynamic RAM is nothing but it processes the speed of the system. So this is how it looks. Rhombus DRAM. Inside the memory, you will find this kind of chip inside, which works on rhombus dynamic RAM. In the rhombus dynamic RAM, very high data transfer rate over the narrow CPU memory bus. How much ever huge data information is there, that much data is processed, and then that much of data is stored. It can be retrieved at any part. Then we have cache DRAM. We will have cache DRAM several times. Every second, whatever is happening, the cache will be there, and then because of this cache, the system gets updated all the time. So it's not updated. It starts, the memory will be running at the back end, and then starts storing the information what we are giving to the system. So in this type of dynamic memory with an on-chip cache memory SRM, that acts as the high-speed buffer for the main RAM. It acts as a buffer, helps giving the inputs, giving the insights, and then it will make it go. Then we have the differences between SRM, static RAM, and dynamic RAM. If we see static RAM is lower access time, very little, very volatile, not for a longer time. Power goes, it will also go. So it is faster compared to the DRAM, more faster. DRAM is has higher access time, so it is slower than the SRAM. Then static RAM is costlier than, because it is fast, so it is costlier, whereas less compared to that, it is less costly. Then static RAM requires constant power supply. Of course, the power supply is not there, the memory will not be working. So power or the charging should be there for the system to work on. For the dynamic RAM, it offers reduced power consumption due to the fact that the information is stored in the capacitor. Capacitors we should recharge in intervals. Due to complex internal circuiting, less storage capacity is available because it is volatile and there is nowhere it is going to take the data and then store in the data. So it is quickly, whatever is there, it will quickly do it on the system only. The capacity is always available compared to the same physical chip or the DRAM. Due to the same internal security in the 1-bit memory cell, the large storage capacity is available. For dynamic RAM, large storage capacity is available. For this, very little. Then SRM has low packaging density. This is having high packaging density. Then let's see what is read-only memory. Read-only memory is non-volatile. Non-volatile means what? It will not get erased. It will remain. Once you write, it will be there. Your CD drive, your DVD drive, your Blu-ray, all these things are nothing but the ROM. ROM is one where it will store the information in the magnetic tapes, you can call, magnetic discs, you can call. On that, it stores the information, all the information. So these are mostly external devices. So ROM is a non-volatile or permanent memory, also known as firmware, is an integrated circuit programmed with the specific data when it is manufactured. The content of the ROM is non-volatile, that is, even the power of the content remains on the chip. Whatever we do, whatever is written, whatever information is given to that, it will store. All that information is stored. And even after 1 year, after 10 years, you want to take out, and if it is not spoiled, of course, so it will store and then it will give you the needed output. Then you cannot reprogram or rewrite the standard ROM chip. Once we write it, it is permanent. You cannot rewrite it. In the initial days, CD drives and all came in that manner only. You cannot rewrite. Once used, it is gone. Your floppy disk or CD drives or hard drives, all these things, once wrote, gone. But later on, slowly, you can. So it is, if it is incorrect, the data needs to be updated. You have to throw it away. So creating the original template for a ROM chip is often laborious process full of trial and error. So this is important. Once for all, we will not work on it to work on the computer. Whatever you are storing in the computer, it will remain permanently. Generally, ROMs, PROM looks like this. This kind of chip also you might have seen in the systems. If you open the laptops and all, you can see them. Types of ROM, then we have mask ROM. This type of ROM that is masked off during the production. So this covered the opaque plates called the photomasks. These plates contain transparencies or holes and allow light in certain areas while blocking light in others, create distinctive patterns. So it will work on making it more distinctive patterns and not much into photolithography and primarily serves as a sort of intellectual property protection. So for that, mask ROM will be used. Then programmable read-only memory. Programmable read-only memory. So PROM we call. So a memory chip on which the data can be written only once. Remember, memory chip on which data can be written only once. You cannot rewrite on PROM. Then once the program has been written, it remains there forever. The difference between PROM and ROM is that PROM is manufactured as blank memory, while ROM is programmed during the manufacturing process. So this difference we need to know. What is PROM? It is processed. It is manufactured with blank memory, no memory, nothing, it's blank. That is how it is manufactured. Whereas as programming is happening, this is taking the data registry. Then erasable, programmable, readable, read-only memory. Now, when we got the erasable ones, that's where it became easy for us, for the DVDs or CDs, to rewrite the content and then store the content. Then electrically erasable, programmable, read-only memory. You can remove through electricity. I mean, by power, digital format way. So flash EPROM, then this type that uses the in-circuit writing to erase by applying an electric field to the entire chip or to predetermined sections of the chip called blocks. So this is completely into the what is inside the system, that on that we send an electric field and then the data will be erased. Then comes to secondary memory. In the secondary memory, it is the memory in which it is non-volatile in nature. Of course, secondary memory is non-volatile in nature, and memory is a little far away from the processor. Your Intel processor, motherboard, or processor are all at one place. This is not very near to that. You can keep it a little far. Then cache memory is the memories in which the non-volatile and boost the processing speed of the computer. Then in here we have in the secondary memories, we have the magnetic devices. Magnetic, most of them, your floppy disks or CD drives or hard drives, all these are magnetic disks or magnetic drive or magnetic devices. So in this, whatever information you want to store, you can store it. So these have a tape or a disk surface which can be magnetized with a pattern of north and south areas to represent the binary data. As the changing magnetic surface moves past the read head, it reads the altering pattern of tiny current charge changes as binary digits, and then that is converted into the way what you want. Then in the magnetic tape, you had that magnetic tape type of things. Magnetic tape is a storage medium that allows for data archiving, collection, and backup of cloud services in cloud data source centers, right? Then we have linear tape open. This is the most popular tape format in the market. Linear tape open. Okay, raw capacity of 6 terabytes. It has the capacity of 6 terabytes. 1 terabyte only we don't buy, but when the system stock, that has 6 terabytes of storage part. The industry has largely moved from oxides as a recoding material towards the barium ferrite, which is capable of delivering high recording densities because of its support for perpendicular magnetic recording. So linear tape open has the perpendicular magnetic recording concept. Not much into the other chemicals names and all is not necessary. We don't need to focus more on that. Linear tape file system. Here it is open standard file system which allows you to use magnetic tape along with the hard disk. So that file systems will be taken up here. Then magnetic drum. This is how the magnetic drum looks like. It allows the data, magnetic tape spoke arranged in the binary form in series or of parallel circular tracks. The drum rotates at a constant speed and the data is recorded or retrieved by read and write. So on this device is rotated on a high speed, and then based on that you will receive or read or write part. This is one more hard disk you might have seen in the previous systems and all. Once you insert the CD drive will open, and then you are putting your CD drive here and insert back. Then it starts reading it, right? So that type of things are called hard disk drives. So HDD we call. In the HDD, you can have the videos, you can have the audios, you can have text format, you can have anything in the digitalized format. Then we have floppy disks. Floppy disks is the very good old days. Maybe you are not even born those days. So that type of era, we had the floppy disk. Mostly in 1990 to 2000, we used floppy disks. Later on, it was all CD drives. Then optical devices. Optical devices is compact CD, compact disk, read-only memory. In this CD drive, we can call it as a CD drive. CD-ROM are random access devices. So random CD-ROMs are used to distribute all sorts of data, that is software or applications or music or electronics or books or anything, whatever you want to store on that, you can store and then you can use it. Then what are the different types of CD optical devices are there? CD recordable, to record. We used to have when you people were not even born, maybe 1995 and all. We used to have CD recorder. Whatever CDs that were there, no, we were not able to write anything on that. We used to buy the CDs, come back and then play. It was only for play. But if you want to rewrite it, there was one more, or you want to write a new CD drive was there, CD recording. So that if you insert that disk, you have to insert into the system and then start recording the whatever you want to record it. Same manner, CD rewritable. So again, CD rewritable was also has come. Once you write, again, if you want to erase it and then write once again, that type of CD drives were also there. Then comes the HD drives. HD drives are most perfect quality. They gave high definition clarity of the picture, etc. Then Blu-ray disc. Blu-ray disc has the capacity of Blu-ray disc is 25 to 50 GB data you can store in the Blu-ray disc. That looks like a CD drive only. Then DVD-ROM, this also, it has 4.7 GB. All your movie, if you want to load into the drive, that is CD-ROM we call. This is how they look. HD drive, CD drive, and CD drive. Then solid state storage devices. In the solid state storage devices, we have flash memory. Flash memory means it is non-volatile, but it is in the form of RAM only. It is one part of RAM. Then USB memory sticks. Here, remember, USB memory sticks has portable storage, almost obsolete. So they USB, the pen drives type of things, they carry the information. You have this USB devices, pen drives and all. Then memory cards. You remember what are memory cards? Can you see these are the memory cards? Your what do you call, credit card or debit card or your chips, what is inside the phone. They carry a lot of information. Whatever your information is there, probably your phone numbers are stored in the SIM card or the other things are stored in the SIM card. So all that information will be there in these small chips. Whereas this chip has all your transactions, finances information. Then smart cards with flash memory are called smart cards. Then many credit cards, etc. Chip and pin cards, door entry cards, and satellite TV cards, etc. have replaced the very limited storage of magnetic strip. So we don't need to carry now the CD drives. How to we are so worried about whether the CD drives get erased or not. Now it is not that case. You can always have the smart cards. So these are your model examinations. Explain about dynamic RAM, explain the types of optical memory devices and SRM. Then we have memory module. What type of memory modules are there? Types of ROM, and then solid state devices in secondary memory. So these are about your 5th SEM questions. Any doubts you have? Any doubts? Two minutes quickly. If you have doubts, let me know. Understood?
Yes, madam.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
You could understand memory part of it. So
Yes,
what I suggest is learn memory as main important parts, primary and secondary, separate them, and RAM and ROM. But three questions essay types. If you learn, you can write the answers. Any answer that is given, you can write it.
Ma'am,
Yes.
we have to draw diagrams, ma'am.
Not the circuit diagram type of thing, small diagrams you can draw, but not that very big circuit type of thing. It's good to draw. When you draw the diagram, you will understand how the chip is functioning. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Let me take the 6th unit. That's very simple and a very interesting concept.
Important question, ma'am.
Yeah, that is important questions only. I gave na just now.
PDF, WhatsApp group, madam.
Yeah, I'll do it. I told you I'll send the WhatsApp this thing information.
Yeah.
Let me mute so that you all can hear once again. And 5-10 minutes, I will definitely speak. I'll give you time to talk.
Ma'am, can you?
6th unit. 6th unit is what is inside the computer. This is really so interesting. So many concepts are there. So many concepts. You have to just open the system to understand what is there inside the computer. So the contents are, you have introduction, form factor of the cabinet. What is the cabinet? From there to motherboard to all ports of the motherboard. Lot of information is there in this unit. So let's start understanding it. Define the forms of computer and then understand computer cabinets, describe various ports. If you open that back previous good old CPUs and all desktops and all, you find n number of ports that you can attach to that. Which one to what and all you should only know. That type of difficult ones. I mean, more ports, more serial ports or parallel ports, etc. All were there. Describe the explanation of the slots and third-party devices. Explain the block diagram of computers. So let's quickly just look into that. Introduction, we have computers have come in such a manner that they were huge in the beginning, huge because of the outer cabin, outer case, or maybe because of the items that are inside the computer. Computer means we are not talking about the display this thing. We are talking about the CPU concept. So that is called actually the computer, right? Whatever is the display, we are not talking about the display devices. We are only talking about what is there in the inside the CPU. So the computer motherboard will supply required digital voltage in order to generate a stream of discrete pulses, electrical signals it will send, called as digital signals or digital electronics. So these are the different towers of your cabinets. You might have seen at several places. Computers means we think that it is whatever is the display vision part of it. It's not that. Display devices. We talk about the CPUs. So these are the different forms of CPUs. It has its length and then width and the height. All those things are different. So nowadays we are having the small form factor where it is sleek and slim. Then we have form factor, ATX desktops. All these are like that only. ATX desktop. Then we have ATX bench case, ATX mini tower. I think I have to, yeah. So ATX desktop, it looks like this. ATX bench case looks like this. ATX mini tower. See, in the mini tower, when you see, it is like a everything in the house is set in the proper manner and then everything kept inside. Nothing is visible outside. So latest computers, if you open and see, it will be very, very clear like that. Then we have ATX mid tower, ATX full tower, and ATX super tower. So these are the cabinets what we are having, so that these cabinets we can put the necessary devices inside and then make them work. We have the home theater computer. Sometimes we make the computer lie down, sleep like this, and then put everything to that. So that's called home theater type of computer, where all the components will be kept, but the system is not standing vertically. It is just horizontally lying down. Then server chases. Here, server chases means this is the type of server where we make sure that whatever designing or whatever way we want the computer to work, all that information will be put into the server part of it. So suppose depending on medical people, they will store the medical type of data. If you are a student, you will store the textbook data. If they are a scientist, then he will store his own data content. So what you are storing, how you are storing is depending on the server chassis. Then switch mode power supply. Switch mode power supply is very important component of the computer system. Total power supply to motherboard and its components is supplied by switch mode power supply. So through this only the information is gone to the system. Then it looks like this. Switch mode power supply. Whatever information you are putting, you are clicking this, then remaining will shut down and then it will start connecting with the 12 part. Then comes types of switch mode power supply. We have 2-3 types. First one is the AC to DC. AC means what is the power supply that is coming to us. And if at all, sometimes if high voltage or any fluctuations come in that, then it is difficult for us to protect our systems. So from AC to DC, it will convert, and then that DC current, because that DC is the converted current, which will remain intact in that voltage only. So no high voltage and all, and then the system getting spoiled. So here you need to understand the AC to DC converters through SMPS. SMPS is what is important. Then DC to DC converter. In a DC to DC converter, primarily high voltage DC power is directly obtained from a DC power source. Then this is high voltage DC power is switched at the very high switching speed, usually at the range of 15 to 50 kilohertz. DC to DC is at this height, at this power. I can put that. So 50 kilohertz of voltage it will take, so that you can run the system in the proper manner. Then flyback SMPS, forward converter. Then we have motherboard. Motherboard looks like this. It's a very, very important question on motherboard. Extremely important question, because motherboard plays a very big role in the operations of your system. So here, if you see, there are ports, connectors we call. These connectors are integrated peripherals. This will look as the backend for you from your system. When you're seeing from the back, this all will be seen. So you put inserting, suppose you have to insert your mouse, you have to insert your keyboard, you have to insert your other devices, speakers, etc. All will have the slots here in this place. Then COMS, backup battery. Where is the backup battery? So that space is also provided. PCI slot. If anybody is working on that, PCI slot also there. Then South bridge, AGP slot. Then North bridge. Then IDE connector, data dynamic access, RAM access memory. Then 2080 ATX power connector. So what you can do is just put one square one and then write all these names from one corner. That makes it. I have put the block diagram also, which will help you to write the motherboard. Then there are types of motherboard. What are the types? First one is non-integrated. Means hard drive connectors are there, CD drive connectors are there. All are there. All are installed as expansion boards. They are not into the system. They are all extra this thing. So it takes a lot of free space inside the case because of the expansion of slots. You will have the provision of expansion of the slots also. If something goes wrong, such as bend or broken pin or defective controller, can be repaired to a minor cost. So that's why we will have non-integrated memory. Non-integrated motherboard. Then integrated motherboard, it assembles everything, the serial ports, parallel ports, ID, CD, everything at one place, and then that is it. Whatever you want to use, you can use. Then integrated motherboard, how it looks, non-integrated motherboard. Integrated motherboard, you have very less giving option to the other people. Whereas here, all the slots are extra inputs. Whatever inputs you want to give it, you can put and then start working on it. Then motherboard form factor. Form factor means it is how it has to look, how it has to be appearance. That is what we call it as the form factor. Then motherboard form factor, it determines general layout, component placement, size, feature placement, then power supply connectors on the motherboard. All that makes really big sense. Then AT, advanced technology. It is the oldest and the biggest form factor of and popular until Bay 80, capable of using 386 processor, 12-inch size, and was difficult to install, service, and upgrade. So this is the advanced technology what we are having, but it is the oldest one, and now we are not using it. Then Baby 80, the standard in computer industries and still being used in Pentium class products. Then ATX advanced technology. Who is writing like this? ATX advanced technology, improvement done is in easy to use, support for current and future IO, input output, and also to current and future technology. Technology keeps changing, but our system should accept the new technology and start working on it. So this is EATX, ATX, micro ATX, and mini ITX. So these are the different forms, just for the information sake. Then mini ATX, common size as ATX, just change in the size, that is 12 to 9.6, and mini ATX is from 11.2 to 8.2. Very near, but not that makes a difference. Then micro ATX supports the current and new processor technologies, AGP, accelerated graphic growth we call, to have the highest performance graphics. The smaller the size, the lesser the power supply. So mainly computer people focus on the power supply. If power supply is not there, they will make small things and then finish off. Then LPX, low profile extension, in the based on the design by Western Digital, usually formed in the desktops or PCs. Cases are thin film, slimline, low profile case, which raise card arrangements for the expansion of the cards. The riser card arrangement means expansion boards are parallel rather than perpendicular. What do you mean by that? Expansion boards are parallel rather than perpendicular. Parallel means you can put one inside the other like this, whereas perpendicular means it will stand straight and then you have to fix it here. So that is more difficult to fix in that manner, space constraint. So we'll go for expansion boards which are parallel rather than the benchmark, rather than perpendicular. Then NLX, new low profile extended. In the new low profile extended, these are the terms repeatedly we should keep using them so that we can get used to reading them, right? So new low profile extended that supports the current and the future processor technologies. Then we have components and layout of the motherboard. I will show you the components. Yeah, this is PS port we call. In the PS port, these are the descriptions: 1, 2, 3, 4, data, no connection, ground, 5B. This is not much necessary. Only the definitions are okay. We call PS port, serial port. I'll show you PS port, serial port. This, did you see in your systems at the back? You might have seen them. PS port. Very few connectors will work for this kind of PS port or gaming ports. Ports for the games and all that wires that are coming in from the back end. I'll show you if I have one with me. Yeah, this type of things. I hope all of you have seen this. Some type of connectors will be there so that they are made for the gaming purposes or PS2 ports, etc. Then serial ports look like this. Then parallel port is more number of ports are there, and then it will be showing there, right? We have parallel port, I just told you. Then we have surround sound connectors also, or 3.5 mm TRS connector. It is the most commonly found audio port. If you want to connect it to the speakers and all, you have to connect it to the surround sound connectors only. So there are 6 colored connectors are there. They are blue, lime, pink, orange, black, and gray. These are the 6 colors. Excuse me. And the meaning of these colors are line in, front speakers, mic in, center woofer, subwoofer, rear speakers, side speakers, respectively. So each one has its name. Depending on the color what you are inserting, based on that functionality will be there. Then comes, we have VGA, vector graphics adapter. This vector graphics adapter and all are used mostly in the graphics part of it, video cards, high definition cards, those places it will be used. They all look like this. Video port. Whenever you are connecting any video port, big hole will be there for that. So that is video port. Then VGA ports, they look like this. You don't need to draw any of these figures, only write 2 lines per each. Digital video interface. Digital video interface is like a high-speed digital interface between the display controller, like a computer, and a display device like a monitor. So this high definition one, you connect your laptop or system or TV to the digital display. That one we call it as a digital video interface. It looks like this. I hope many of you might have seen the pin, what type of pin it has. Then you have micro DVI and display DVI. They look like this. RCA, you might have seen. For audio, this type of pins will be there most of the times. You might have seen them. And this is also one type. Then we have RCA connector, component video. All names are there, plenty of names. S port, then HDMI port. HDMI port, nowadays we are using HDMI ports only. If you want to connect your laptops to display screens, you need to use the HDMI ports only. Your projectors and all, you have to connect to the HDMI ports. Then USB port, these are the USB ports to connect your pen drives, to connect your hard disk or the telephone, whatever you are connecting. All those things will be connected through USB ports. Then we have USB type C, we call. This type also you will be seeing in some of the chargers. Then we have RJ45. RJ45, when we are connecting to the internet and other places, this type of connectors will be there. You can see them. These are different type of things, mainly to connect to the network technology. RJ45 Ethernet is the networking technology that is used to connect your computer to the internet or communicate with the internet. Okay. Then comes, this is one more, internet or phone. Whenever we are connecting, we connect with RJ11. Then we have eSATA interface. This is one type of things where serial advanced technology attachment is connected, that is used as an interface for connecting external mass storage devices. Mass storage devices means it is your hard disk, external hard disk, or external these things are there. For that type of things, USB, we will be using this kind of devices. Then we have small computer system interface. This small computer interface systems, American National Standards Institute, that they have formed, like CD-ROM, write and CD-ROM write devices, rewrite devices, all those things. Of course, we are not much using nowadays. Then power connector port, game port. Power connector means, I just showed you. This is like a power connector port. I hope you can see it. Can you see power connector port? It looks like this. And game connector port also will be there for your PS2, PS3, or any kind of devices wherever you are using the games part of it. Then we have expansion slots on the motherboard. You can include more and more expansion slots on the motherboard. You can put more attachments to that, so that suppose every system has 2, 3, you can increase them more. Like this, more slots can be kept, so that you can use the system for a number of things. Then we have PCI, PCIe, PCI. So this means the Express is the latest implementation of the PCI bus, which is only software compatible with the PCI bus specifications. So this is the latest ones what our systems will be having, and a single PCI Express slot can implement several lines in parallel in order to yield the multiple of the transfer rate of a single line. So the slots are like 1 time, 4 times, 16 times. It allows this many times of pathways. Then we have industry standard architecture, ISA we call, and this type of ports you might have seen, ISA expansion card. So once we insert this, then it will be more, the 8-bit computer bus can work as a 16-bit computer bus also. New port we can call. Then extended ESA, more and more accelerators and all. These are all, there are actually around 18 to 20 different ports that are there to the system. So audio modem raiser is for the functionality, either modem or audio, or both audio and the modem. Then we have communication and networking, CNR we call, advanced communication raiser. This is how it looks. These are the ports we have for them, ACR and CNR. Then video electronic standards. Then ribbon cables. Ribbon cables are small. Inside the system you will find some ribbon type of things will be there. That is nothing but the cable which has the slots of information or the connectors or signals passing through them. So these are all those cables and this ribbons. This is how they all look inside. Then we have Ethernet, audio cable, computer cable, all these are the some more. So many information is there. Then memory chips, we have RAM chips, dual inline package, single inline package pin, single inline memory module. All these things are part of your computer system only. They all will be there parallelly working whenever you switch on your system. Then we have ROM chips that this is how they look, ROM chips or RAM chips. I'll share a little bit. Can you see them? How they are? This is how they look. So much of information is there. That's where I thought while writing this lesson, I thought this cannot be read as it is. We need to write the notes properly to understand them. Then processors on the motherboard. Remember, I told you processors are different. Processors can be used. So whatever processors you are using, your central processing unit in the computer, CPU is the main central processing unit. And then apart from that, your CPU. Today, 2 main manufacturers of the CPU chips, Intel and Advanced Micro Devices. These people are making it. And apart from that, you have Compaq, Digital Electronics Corporation, or HP, or all these people are also manufacturing your motherboard and the central processing units. And this is the block diagram of the computers. This is how it works. Control unit will be there, RAM and ROM, where they are, you should know. Where are the input-output controllers? If I'm running like this, where is the input-output controllers? Your IO devices, hard disk drive and floppy disk drive, and mouse, keyboard, monitor, network modem, Roberts instrumentation. Then in the CPU, you will have the registers. I told you in the beginning, registers will be there, input, primary memory, secondary memory, RAM, ROM, and all. So here, arithmetic and logic functions and control units. This is at the back panel of the computer. Simply, you can put one line to explain that. what thumb screw, expansion slots, then security lock port, all these names of what we have, Vega port, USB port, microphone jack, audio jack, all these things you can just name them. Then we have the front end panel. In the front end panel also, if you have this, if you see the CPU, you will find all these things in the front end panel. You will have the floppy drive, you will have the power button, you will have the memory case, card slots, CD drive, future expansions. This will be blank. If you want to extend it, more CD drives or more DVD drives you want to put, you can put there. Then street door, secret door, or IEEE USB port, headphones, all these things will enter here. Then the model examination questions. We have explained the types of computer cabinets. In the beginning, I gave you motherboard and its functions. I explained you. Then block diagram of the computer. That this last part, block diagram of the computer, you can put it and explain that. Then SMPS, then ribbon cables, then third-party devices. Third-party devices are the storage devices what we have. Okay. So I know little dry it went on, but that once we read, and actually if it is a practical session where we open the system and what is what, it can be understood with very fast and very easily, but than in as a what do you call, Zoom class. Okay, now I'll unmute you all. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. Yeah, if you have any doubts, please ask.
Ma'am,
Hmm?
mostly we have 18 ports in this.
Yes.
We have to write all, ma'am. Only 5 are.
Actually, if it is only if it is an essay type answer, at least naming them is important. Name them and write one line about them, not much in detail. How many megahertz or kilohertz, all those things you don't need to write, but you should name them, each one of them. If they ask you explain any 5, then you have to learn at least 5 and keep it. They won't ask you to explain each and everything, right? Only a few you have to learn. Of course, motherboard or the audio or the USB, like this, they may ask you a few to write in explain them. But overall, when you are writing a block diagram, you should mention all the names.
Okay, ma'am. When it will be start, ma'am, practicals?
Pardon?
When it will be start, ma'am, practicals?
When I asked sir, he told first classes should get over, then they will fix the dates.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Theory classes should get over. So next weekend we'll finish off theory class.
Okay, ma'am.
And when you give the question of record books.
I didn't get you.
When you give the portion of records, ma'am, we have to
Hello?
start the record. Hello.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. When you give the records portion, ma'am, when we start the records.
Record part, I don't know, dear, because that they will give you only at the center.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Where they are giving you, you will go for practicals. No, that time only they'll give and then give you the practical.
Okay,
Ma'am, what
ma'am.
about assignments, ma'am?
Assignments, I feel you can write these answers only once, what I send you, and submit. That will help you to one revision. It will help. It will make you revise, and then notes also will be there with you once you write the assignment. I'll see what are the important questions, and I'll ask the university search and get the information for you, what you have to write.
Ma'am, we need to write that assignments in A4 sheet.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, ma'am.
Ma'am, send the questions in the BCom computers group, na ma'am, please.
I'll send questions,
Okay, ma'am.
PPTs. In the PPT and PPT, last PPT will be having the questions. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Okay,
That
ma'am.
all the content will be there. This
Ma'am,
content
what is the
also,
last date of submission of assignments?
not known, dear. I will let you know in tomorrow's class.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay,
Thank
ma'am.
you. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am,
Yes.
which group you will be sending this PPTs, ma'am?
I don't know the group name. 1 second, let me see if there is any group here. Yeah, there is a WhatsApp chat group. Mohammed Imran made it. Did you all are you all on that group?
No, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Are,
yes.
are you all in this group? Okay, I'll copy this.
Just
link.
tell him to send a link of this group. We will join, ma'am.
Okay. How does
Tell
he
him
send
to.
it? Where does he send this link?
Okay,
Imran,
ma'am.
are you there? Imran, are you there?
Yeah, ma'am,
Who is
I'm there.
Imran?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
I'm here
Imran,
only.
try to coordinate with everyone and see that this link is sent to me first and then to all the remaining people so that they can join and I can send the notes in that.
Yes, ma'am. Just now I have sent
Okay, dear.
on chat.
Ma'am,
Oh, huh?
in Unit 2, human computer interaction, we have special software, ma'am.
Yes,
Types of software, special software. In that, we have table.
yes.
In exams, we have to write same as table or like theory, ma'am.
It's like a theory you can write. Exactly, you don't need to copy. Whatever format you feel comfortable to remember and write in the proper manner.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Imran has sent in the group once again. Please look into that and join that group. Imran, please send it to my number also. I think it should be there. Let me copy down. WhatsApp.
Ma'am, I don't have your number, ma'am.
Yeah. 1 second. Let me do it. I will save this link. Select all. No, not all will get sent. Only this link. Okay, I'll join later on to this group. The whole big thing is opening. I'll copy this this thing. FWUMP. Okay, I'll just take a screenshot. That is better. Later on, I can open that and work. I'm taking a screenshot.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, I just wanted to know what are the process of this Open University because I'm new at this. So from the
Process
online
means-
class, I'm asking the path from online class to examination. What are the hurdles and what are the process? Like after the online classes, what like how the practical will come conducted and examinations and all.
More than anything else about the practical and the other aspects, I tell suppose today I have completed 2 units. It's not easy to do to teach 2 units at a stretch, and 2
Yeah.
units in just 1 hour, 1.5 hour or 2 hours is very little time for you to understand. In the general normal classes, we take at least 3 to 5 days to teach 1 unit minimum. So for you to learn, remember and write the exam is a challenge. You should thoroughly read the content. There in the class, physically we are teaching on the board and then you people will understand, make a note of it. If here it doesn't happen. One way I've muted you all and then I'm explaining you all. Whether you are following, not following, having any doubt, nothing I can know. So you have to, I will send the notes from today onwards. You should go through the notes. If you have any doubts, please send the message. I will answer your questions.
Yes, ma'am. Sure. Ma'am, is that practical will be conducted in weekends like Saturday, Sunday, or in weekdays?
I don't know all the practical concepts part of it. I will let you know by tomorrow.
Yeah, ma'am, sure. Because actually, some people in Open University are
That's what
working.
in tomorrow class I will let you know about it, the details.
Sure, ma'am, sure.
Okay,
We'll
ma'am.
be waiting for that. Thank you
Okay,
so
then.
much, ma'am, for your help.
Have a nice day. Enjoy.
Thank you, ma'am. You too. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Bye.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, dear.
Viనిపిస్తుంది.